All right, so I'm going to tell you the secret hack to making the best mac and cheese. This is the secret ingredient. Is guess what it is? You'll never guess what it is. I'll just tell you right now. I just discovered this. Ma-
Cheese.
Mascarpone cheese. That is the secret ingredient to all mac and cheese. Try it, and you will thank me later.
There's a podcast called Between Two Slabs. They consume mass media. It seems so sad. It's the great curator and Merlin. They can't grow pubes, so they gotta wear a merkin. They got no money, so I guess they gotta share. Just two nerds wishing they could grow body hair. Comics, cards, and toys, nothing that would interest you. It's the podcast that nobody listens to.
All right, rise and shine, everyone. It is football time. Woo! I hope your fantasy's doing well, Dan. Unfortunately, mine aren't.
No. Well, I won one game.
Me too.
I haven't even checked my records yet, to be honest. I haven't got fully into my fantasy leagues yet. I'm still adjusting my teams, but I'm doing all right. I'm not terrible.
Hope you didn't have Nick Chubb.
No, but I have Saquon Barkley on my team, and I don't know what happened to him. I know he left the game the other day. I haven't checked to see what happened to him.
He's out for about 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, 3 weeks? Well,
Nick Chubb, I heard that was a nasty injury last night. They wouldn't even show it in replay. It was so bad.
Replay on like TikTok. Ooh,
yeah.
Man,
oh, you saw
like,
it?
Yeah,
I can't handle it.
His poor guy, his leg snapped in half. But
anyway,
welcome back to another episode, guys.
That's right. Even though we talk more about pop culture stuff, we still like your sports, as you can see.
Yes, I got my drink. I'm feeling good tonight. I've got a little drink in hand. Let me pour it here.
Oh, you got a little sake or soju?
Okay, this is soju.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Got a little soju here, lychee flavor.
And tell people, some of the viewers, what soju is. It's like sake, right? But it's a Korean version.
It's a Korean alcohol, basically. It's like a version of like Japanese sake. Koreans that have the same thing. It's called soju. So
I love it. Is that a flavored one or just?
Yeah, this is a flavored one. This is a lychee one. So I went to.
I love that one.
And Costco sells like a 6-pack of these. So I was like, all right. Might as well.
How many packs have you gone through?
Well, this is my second bottle. So and I got a little bit left tonight. So who knows? If we have good conversation and I might finish this. And
oh my goodness. Wow.
At the end of the show, it might get a little spicy, guys.
Oh my God. Your daughter and wife are going to have to come in there and carry you out.
Yeah. We'll see. We might get into some good topics tonight towards the end of the show. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So welcome to another week. Kind of a slow week in the news cycle here. Haven't had a lot of crazy things happen in the hobby for once. So that will give us a little bit of time to talk about some interesting things here, because I've been reflecting on the past couple months, because we had the National, then we had Burbank, then I had Dallas. So now we're pretty much done for the year unless another show pops up. So this is kind of like our off season. So I have a little bit of time to reflect on some tips on how to manage your inventory. So I'm going to tell you guys about that. We're going to be talking about, what was the other thing we were going to talk about?
We're going to talk about how to set up your cases or your booths at card shows.
Yes. Okay. We'll talk about that. And then we'll go into mail days and then comments, and we should have a lot of time to talk about comments here. So if you guys have anything, put it in the comment section below and we will eventually get to that. But before we get down to serious discussion, serious hobby talk, guys, we got to pay some bills. We got to take care of our sponsors here. We are contractually obligated to talk about our two sponsors. Merlin, start it off.
All right, everyone. Y'all know about Veriswap, and if you don't, check it out. It's on your phone. Go to your app store, download Veriswap app. They're also affiliated now with my Slabs. They're the middle guy, the third party that if someone hits you up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X now, Threads, eBay, and say, dude, I love this card, but would you like to trade? And you're like, I don't even know who the hell you are. No, thank you. But now you could tell them, sure, let's do it. Check me out on Veriswap. I got my cards on there. Show me what you got with your cards. So now you're not going to get ripped off. You're not going to get ripped off. You said that Tom Brady rookie autograph card, PSA 10, that person will make sure they get it. Veriswap makes sure whatever you're trading for, it goes to Veriswap first. They make sure everything's kosher and you're getting the cards you are receiving and giving, and everybody's happy and no one's getting ripped off. You're not going to get, a Bowl rookie card after you traded for a Tom Brady or Michael Jordan Fleer, auto. So try to do it. It only takes it's free. It takes about 5 minutes to create an account and upload your graded cards. And Dan also said, I heard there's rumor that they also do raw cards and other stuff. So check it out. Do the search engine. It'll also tell you what the latest comps were on those sales of those cards. So you're not getting ripped off or selling too low or too high or whatever. But it's really cool. And they only take a very, very small percentage of fees, way less than eBay and all these other services and whatever. I won't even say, but it's worth it. Try it out now.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, guys, think about Veriswap like it's insurance. You're paying a small percentage for the extra layer of safety if you're doing these transactions online. Now, if you know the person, you don't need Veriswap. If you know the person and you trust them, you can do the deals, whatever. But a lot of people don't actually know these people that they interact with online. And with the whole card porn scandal, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's out there. You don't know if people are catfishing you or anything like that. So just pay for that extra layer of insurance. And Veriswap is a great source for that. And I'm gonna throw out some ideas. Remind me about this, Merlin.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out some ideas on how to make the hobby a little bit more safe tonight. You just reminded me with this sponsorship ad for Veriswap, but I've got a couple ideas that I'm just going to throw out there. I've been holding it close to my chest because I might make a business out of it, but I'm just going to throw it out there tonight. Maybe it's the soju. Maybe the soju is already kicking in that I want to get.
Yeah, your cheeks are already turning red, Dan.
It's the aging glow. It's the aging glow. Okay, but I'm gonna give some ideas about that. But anyways, Veriswap is just an extra layer of insurance, guys. Yes. And what makes Veriswap a great solution to this problem is really it's the person behind it. Like anybody can create a middleman service to facilitate these trades, right? Like anybody can do it. But what's important and what is really necessary in the hobby today is credibility. And the person behind Veriswap is Raymond Lee. Raymond Lee, if you guys don't know him, he is a very established person in the hobby. He's the person that ran Asian Cards, a big Facebook group a couple years ago. He's very well known to be like a high-end card flipper before he started this business. Merlin did an interview with him. Very smart guy, very well-spoken. Yes. You can check out that interview on Merlin's channel. He did that a couple months ago for Veriswap, but that is the person behind all this. He's the person that does their social media. You can see his face when he talks about certain things on their Instagram page. So check that out. But that's how you know that Veriswap is very reputable because Raymond Lee backs that. So check that out, guys. Check out Veriswap. Our next sponsor I want to talk about real quick here is Slabmags. I feel like I don't even need to talk about Slabmags that much because you guys know me as Mr. Slabmags. I've been promoting it for these guys for like 2 years now. They've been a big supporter of my channel, and now they're blowing up where, now they're actually paying for sponsorships and things like that. But Slabmags are the best slab protector out there for what they do. Okay. They are the only slab protector that protects on the front and back of the card. It opens up like this. Here's a little demo. There's a little switch here that locks it in place, and it opens up like that. And then you put your slab in there, and then you can close it. UV protection on both sides. And the best part about it is the color match. It's aluminum. It's heavy duty. It feels premium. It's pretty cool. And the price point makes sense now. Before, when Slabmags first came out, they were the highest end slab protector out there. Definitely. We have other slab protectors like Phantom Displays, which is like a huge piece of acrylic. Then there's that other guy, I forget what his thing is called, but he's got like that titanium case thing that's cost a lot of money. So actually, this is not even the highest end product out there. It's like a mid-tier product, which is perfect for people that want to put like, $1,000 plus cards in there. So check out Slabmags. We have the coupon code below there. If you want to order directly on their website, just use my code Curator. You get 10% off. But Slabmags, definitely the best way to protect your cards. I like to joke that they add 10% value. You put your card in here.
Oh, no, at least
10% value. It will help sell your cards, guys. We're going to be talking about we're going to be giving you tips on how to be vendors at card shows. The number one tip I can give you, use a slab mag on your high-end cards. They will move. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that as well. Like once I put a slab mag on one of my cards and place it in the display case, before no one just plain and naked, no one would notice it. And then I would like color match it with one of the slab mags, and within 10 minutes, someone goes, "Man, look at that card." That quick.
It works. It works. And then if you sell your card, you just price in the cost of a slab mag, $20, $25, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Just put that on top of the card, and it will enhance your display and help that card move. But if you're not a vendor, they still look great. I mean, look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to move my camera here. Look at my display cases. All my cards are in slab mags. It's kind of hard to see, but
that's the Slab Mag Hall of Fame with the curator.
Yeah,
they're all curator stands.
Look at that. Slab mags there, guys, because it just looks damn cool. It just looks damn cool. Okay, let me adjust this here. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into our big topic of discussion tonight. The state of the hobby for us. All right. I feel like it's been a whirlwind past few months, from July all the way to now September, for that like 2-month period, right? July, August, September, 3 months for about 2.5 to 3 months. It's kind of been a wild ride in terms of the shows for us. But now that the last Dallas show is over, we don't really have anything on the books for the rest of the year. Because we're not going to be going to, I know I saw Papa Jim leave a question for us. We're not going to be going to Dallas in November because, in my opinion, it kind of slows down towards the holiday season. So we've made the decision not to go to Dallas as vendors in November. Merlin, you said you might want to go as an attendee.
Yeah, it'd be last minute thing. So
yeah, so that's there. We got the show in Pasadena. It's called the Front Row Card Show in November. Maybe we'll go to that.
I probably will be, because that's really close by for me.
Yeah, so we might set that up, but that's just like a little local show for us.
Exactly.
There is this looming Asia show, which is a mystery in December. So, but that's not a lock yet. So I'm not even planning for that yet. We'll see, guys.
You may never see Dan and I again after this,
right? Yeah, we might have a hangover.
We have to feel a documentary
moment out there. If we end up, can you imagine if we ended up in Macau, China, doing a show out there? How crazy would that be? But anyway,
we may have to actually film like a documentary about it if we do.
That would be the only reason I would go to that show. I mean, the cost. The cost is such a high barrier of entry to go out there. For me to bring my family out there to hotels and all that stuff, it'd probably be like $5,000 at least, right? Something like that.
Oh gosh, definitely.
So the cost is significant. So really,
we should be the card version of. Oh gosh, who's my girlfriend's favorite food guy? The one who Anthony Bourdain. We should be the Anthony Bourdain of card hobby. Going around the world. Doing the culture.
I am one of the few people that have an Anthony Bourdain autograph. Look at that, guys. I was within arm's reach. I pull out an Anthony Bourdain autograph.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I'm the great curator. That's why. Oh man, this soji's already kicking in. I'm feeling spicy.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like going to like all over the world and attending shows all over the world, but also like documenting the culture, the food as well while we're there.
What was that show that
would be my dream?
His show was called like, what is it? Parts Unknown or
Parts Unknown.
Unknown. Here's a pitch, because I know there are people that they're like Hollywood producers that watch this show. I know there are. Okay, here's my pitch. All right, Parts Unknown. We go to card shows across the world, and we also sample food and the culture and talk to the locals. It will be a great show. It'll be on Netflix. So that's my pitch. Let's see if we can make it happen.
give them some cards.
Yes.
Everything.
We'll be ambassadors for the hobby.
Yes.
Okay? Michael Rubin, hire us to go do this. That would be awesome. Hold on.
I would love it.
So, anyways, let's not get. You're getting me off topic here, all right?
I know, but I love that idea, man. Okay, sorry.
So my thought process was, since we don't actually have any shows on the calendar, this is kind of like our off season, because the show season for us really starts in November, in January. With the first Dallas card show. Then it goes into the Burbank card show, and then it goes into another Dallas card show, and then some filler show between that, another Dallas card show, and then the national. So we got about from like January to July is the card show season for us. And then after that, after like, I guess you could say after like September is
that's like your grand slam of card show season.
Yeah, is the off season. So that's kind of where we are right now. So I think we need time to kind of reflect on what's going on here. Sorry, can you give me?
Okay.
Can you give me 1 second? There is a mosquito in my my office here. And,
oh, you saw it flying around?
Oh yeah, and I need to do something about this, because he's taking his shots.
A big one?
He's taking his shots at me, and it's very uncomfortable right now. So
we've had a little overabundance of mosquitoes this season because of all the rain we've had in Southern California.
Right, give me a second.
Okay. I can't wait to see Dan trying to kill a mosquito. My girlfriend would be screaming right now. Heaven forbid. She'd be screaming at me to come out in the middle of the show, to leave the show, to come destroy that mosquito, because she is too scared to face it one-on-one. What? Where'd Dan go? Do you have a swatter or something, or a net? Oh my gosh. This is comedy gold right here, folks.
Okay, got it. All right.
Okay.
So
I was hoping we would see you doing this.
But I went outside.
Oh, look. Oh my.
I got some return here. So I asked Ann, my wife, I said, give me something, to shoot these damn mosquitoes. So she gave me this plant-based repellent, but then she also gave me this flea and tick dog spray to shoot.
Oh, you don't have like a Raid or anything?
So Raid? No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Mosquitoes?
I'm just like.
Yeah, Maria, she would have like 2 in each hand. She would have a holster to put them in, and it would be totally like Wild West over there.
Sorry for this disorganized, guys.
Oh, dude, that's comedy gold.
This show's gonna be a shit show tonight. Okay, it is what it is, guys. It's a Tuesday. It's the off season. We really got nothing to talk about, so it is what it is, guys. Anyways, so here's my thoughts. Okay, this is the off season. This is time for kind of to reflect on what went well this year, what didn't do well. How can we start preparing for next year, right? Last year, this time, I noticed that I needed to get more like rare stuff, and that's when I started buying those Type 1 photos.
Correct. And you got me into it too.
Oh man, sorry. I think I sprayed too much, guys.
You're gonna get asphyxiated in your own room.
I might pass out. Hold on.
I know.
I'm okay. Anyways.
Oh wow. I think this part will go viral, Dan. Oh no. Ventilation. Get a fan.
Okay.
Oh, this is great live TV, folks. Live TV.
That was not a good idea. There's too much chemicals in here.
Take another hit of soju.
Okay. Anyways, I opened the door. It will be good, guys. It'll be good, guys. Okay, so last year is when I kind of came up with the idea about Type 1 photos.
Yes,
that was a huge success for this year. So this year, I'm kind of reflecting on what has happened, right? So for me, and it's different for you and me. Our inventory slightly differs, and you have a different experience. So I'll just kind of speak to my own experience here.
Mm-hmm.
The national was basically, I had a bunch of rare items. I had 7 display cases, Type 1 photos. I had the dollar box, and I killed it. Sold everything, right? Great show. Then I went into Burbank, almost the same inventory, minus the things that I sold. And Burbank was a huge failure for me in terms of sales. All I could move was like the low end dollar cards. Could not sell any slabs, any Type 1 photos for my life.
And that was a shock to me too.
Yeah. So for me too, believe me.
No, you have a great inventory, so was so surprised.
So then going to Dallas the following week, same inventory, but also kind of similar results, only selling low-end
Similar
stuff.
to what? Burbank or
Yeah,
National?
to Burbank, selling
Okay.
low-end stuff, but I did make one high-end sale, which made the whole show for me. But here was my thought process. When the National happened and I was, killing it with the sales, I felt like the prettiest girl at the dance. Like the popular girl, the girl that walks down the hallway and everybody's like, hey, what's up? And, they want to do things for her and take pictures of her and things like that. That was me. Confidence at an all-time high after the National. I was like, yeah, these things that I bought, that I curated last year, everybody loved them. I knew it, right? Then going to Burbank, everybody basically ignores me. I feel like my self-esteem drops.
Nobody was ignoring you. Things weren't buying, but
I'm just saying, like, the stuff was not moving. My stuff was really not moving. So
but as a person, nobody was ignoring you.
That's true. That's true.
They were loving you still.
That's a different metric of success.
Yes, exactly.
But the confidence level drops. Oh my God, my stuff sucks. Nobody likes it. I can't sell it. I'm stuck with these things, Basically just made me rethink everything. Then I go into Dallas and then same result happens. And I start to rethink. I start to feel very, very self-conscious about my stuff. You know what I mean? Like I start to look around and I see people buying and selling other things. I'm like, those bastards, maybe I should buy some of those things. But here was my thought process in Dallas is basically you never know what's going to happen at a card show. It's a total crapshoot, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But when you have consecutive shows like I did, where Burbank and then Dallas just a week later, and you're still not getting the same type of results that you want, the attention that you want on your inventory, you gotta do something, right? If you don't do anything, you go to the next show, it's probably going to happen again. So what I did at Dallas is basically I just decided to blow up my entire inventory. And the way that I did that, just change it out. The way that I did that is I started accepting trades. So usually I do trades, but I don't always look to do trades. You know what I mean? And I don't buy a lot at shows. I buy mostly online. But at Dallas, I had to take a different approach. I had to do trades with anybody that was willing to do it. And I had to put down cash just to try to make these trades go through to basically blow up my inventory and kind of bring in new exciting things. And it worked. I was able to do like three or four different trades. I moved like 15 plus cards that of my inventory that were kind of stale, that weren't really doing anything. And I was able to consolidate and pick up some unique items. I don't know if these items are going to do well, like that Pete Maravich check that I have. I don't know if that's going to move at all, but it's unique, right? The Hogan 101 that I picked up, also another unique item. So things like that kind of just shifted it up. But that's what you have to do. So the takeaway lesson here of this long rant that I just went on here, this mosquito-filled rant, is that you have to be willing to adjust your inventory if you are a dealer, okay? If you're a collector, who cares? But if you're a dealer like you and me, where you are going to shows once a month or on a regular basis, you've got to be willing to shift your inventory, because we see a lot of the same people at these shows all the time, right? Or people know us enough where if our inventory doesn't change, then what's to make them come see to our table? You know what I mean? If they already know what we have, if they know, how we do deals and they've seen our stuff, if it doesn't change, then we're not going to bring new people to our table. So you have to be willing to make that change. And you have to be able to kind of like read the room and see what is popular, what's working, what's not. You know what I mean? When we were doing shows every week locally, it would be very easy to change our inventory. It shifted every week because we were just constantly doing deals. Now, this year was a little bit different, where we were only doing shows maybe once every 2 months or so. So it's a little bit harder because our inventory, unless we're selling it online, stays with us. So the lesson I learned, the takeaway is basically I had basically blow up my whole inventory. Whatever worked at the National was only working at the National, I sold all my best stuff basically at the National. And then whatever was left was the stuff that nobody wanted. So what I learned over Burbank is, it was the leftovers essentially. So what I learned from Burbank and Dallas is that I had to basically reshift everything, blow it up. And now I have to kind of rebuild going into next season, January. And I don't necessarily know what I'm going to rebuild it with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I'm trying to go, honestly, I'm trying to go more like, I'm trying to be like all one of ones. That's what I want to do. I want to be like the one of one guy going into next season. But it's kind of hard to do that because one of ones you have to hold for a while. You know what I mean? It's not like they're super liquid. So I've got to. Here's my plan. This is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to have like 50% one of ones, okay, 25% or 30% liquid vintage cards like Jackie Robinson rookies, Mickey Mantle cards, Flair Jordans, like vintage liquid cards. All right. And then 20% just like kind of like fun cards, like kind of low end fun things like that. And I might try to get 1 or 2 Grail cards that I put in the showcase to just get people to come see me. Like my 86 Flair Jordan, for example. That's one thing. So
that's a lure.
Yeah, that's a lure. I've toured around with a Mickey Mantle, 52 Mickey Mantle rookie card if I can afford one, things like that. The Type 1 photos, I think I have to cut back on that because they just take too much space. They take too much display case space and they're hard to travel with. So right now I usually run about like 6 or 7 of them in my inventory, but I think I got to cut that down to like 4 because it's just not practical to travel with these things.
I mean, all the shows I've been at since I've had the Type photos, the most of the photos that I've sold aren't the ones that have been authenticated and slabbed by PSA. It's actually, you noticed, they've been the raw ones that I've sold the most. Like, why do you think that's the case?
What are you selling them for?
A few $100s.
Yeah, maybe they're just more affordable, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I think number one is they're more affordable, plus there's upside to it because if the people slab them up, there's going to be a premium on top of that.
Okay.
There's just always the risk that it's not the type that you think it is. You know what I mean?
No. And I try to help them the best I can. I can only do so much, and I can always, there's a percentage I could be wrong about it.
I actually did just pick up a lot of type,
I saw that,
but I'm not going to show them off because I got a plan. I got to slab them and see what they come back as. But I feel like somebody is like copying my moves because I talk about something and then suddenly on my eBay watch list, whatever I talked about gets snatched up. So I need to be a little bit more careful about giving my secrets away on this podcast because some people are listening to me apparently and doing these things. But so I cannot tell you these original photographs that I just picked up. I got to slab them and then when I get them back, I can show them off. But that will take several months. But I still do believe in the type photographs, but I feel like, man, it's too hard to display them at these shows. I need like 7 display cases for 7, 8 display cases.
I know. Or that wall, like that wall I had. I need to like post them on the wall.
Yeah, and
the vendor wall.
And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to like carry around all this stuff, to shows and things like that. So I might have to like cut down the type photos to like in that 20% of like weird stuff in that range. So like 3 or 4 of them. But that's basically going to be my strategy going into next season. So I have like today, I've got like 2-3 months to basically start buying things, buying up vintage inventory and things like that, and rebuilding going into next season. So that's my plan. What do you think? What have you given any thoughts to how you're going to
actually? I mean, I'm excited about all these type ones. I'm doing very well with them, but I mean, at the Burbank show, I mean, you saw what was working for me, what genre of stuff, be it the cards, be it the photos, whatever memorabilia I had. The genre of music was my biggest seller of anything. That's what people bought from me. They bought like Harry Styles, Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift. And then for my photos, they were buying, the vintage music stuff, old school hip hop, Billy Joel, David Bowie, the list goes on. But, classic people like that, those were, the biggest sellers for me. So thank goodness I had a lot of music and then, some wrestling. But that was about it. And, I had a lot of the K-pop cards in my clearance box like you did. And those, I think for you and I both, those are one of the few things that moved.
I feel like that. Let's talk about these type photos real quick here, because they are picking up in popularity. I see a lot of them showing up at different auction houses right now. And PSA is taking a long time to grade these things, which tells me
they weren't only taking a month or 3 weeks to a month, and now I've got stuff in there for a month and a half. Sorry about that. It
tells me that a lot of people are sending them in. That's why there's a delay on these things right now. So we will probably be seeing a lot of type photos show up at shows, on auction houses, on eBay within the next, 6 months or so. But it's interesting to see how people are getting excited about type photos. And honestly, the type photos are very subjective. You could take a picture of Michael Jordan, for example, and he could be doing a number of different things, and people could just go wild for that, or they could not care about it. It's really dependent on the subject matter. But I think the reason why type photos are popular right now is because the scarcity attached to them. You know what I mean? They're basically like one of ones, even though they're not actually one of ones, because there could be other copies of these photos out there. But they're basically like one of ones because you won't see duplicates out there unless one pops up later on. And that has been a continuous trend I've seen in the hobby, where people are just trying to buy rare things that they can get a super premium on. You know what I mean? That are not necessarily tied to comps. You could buy a type photo for like $500, and you could turn around and sell it for like $2,000 or $2,500 or whatever it is, right? And some of these type photos have been going for wild amounts, like the Jordan. What was that? What was the record? Like
175,000.
For that Jordan, which it seems crazy to me that somebody would pay that much for that type photo, things like that. But that's the trend that I'm seeing, and I feel like at some point, type photos are still very rare now. But I feel like once PSA starts pumping these things out, then they will be a little bit more common to see out there, and then you're gonna see these photos of like random shots start to kind of like drop down.
Yes,
and you're gonna see the really significant ones, the ones that are like tied to
cards, magazines,
or historical events,
yes,
things like that. Like I have one here. I'll just show you this right now, real quick.
Okay. We'll twist your arm, Dan.
Yeah, I picked this up here. So this is a Type 3 photo of Jackie Robinson holding Jackie Robinson with this manager. This is a Phillies manager. Something Chapman is his name.
Okay.
But this is a significant photo because the story is basically, back in the day, nobody wanted to shake Jackie's hand. The people that didn't like him, they didn't want to shake his hand. So the only way
because of racism.
Yeah, because of racism. So the only way they would take a photo with him to make it look friendly is they would basically hold the bat together, but they wouldn't actually have to touch each other. So that's why this photo is significant for that. So stories like that, I think, that can be attached to these type of photos. I think they'll hold a premium. But just like random shots of like people doing whatever it is, they'll probably go way lower. But that's going to be the trend that we're going to see for the next 6 months, I believe.
Yeah, and you probably want one from like a really established, famous photographer as well. Would always work.
Yeah, things like that. So,
but photography's art, just like you buy original art. You have getting into, but photography's art as well, and they're much more rare than if you bought like a card or a reprint of something else. But I was going to ask you, I was going to post this on Instagram, Dan, and I would love other people to leave comments below as well, either when the show's on or afterwards. But say, okay, that Jordan photo that sold for $175,000. That was from 1984. His very first game with the Chicago Bulls sold for $175,000. Okay, so let's say you had $2,000. Okay, and you saw that same photo on eBay or say at a card show, you saw two different photos, okay? Let's say you saw a type 2 of that photo that was made in the late 90s, because you know that's from the original negative, right? That's after 2 years. Or you see a type 3 of that photo, which also was made that same year in 1984. Which one would you buy? They're both slabbed.
One is $2,000 and one is
both. No, both of them are $2,000. Would you buy the type 2 that was made in the say 1999, or would you buy the type 3, which is a reprint negative but still produced in 1984?
Type 3. People want the older ones.
That's a good. I want to make that question.
Which is like, why does it matter? They look almost identical. It's just like one is carbon dated to be older than the other one. That's why they're more valuable. I don't know.
But the quality is not going to be as nice though.
It's
your contrast and your sharpness is not going to be the same. No, I do know this.
But that's like arguing the difference, the eye appeal difference between a 9 and a 10, PSA 9 and 10. The difference would be is not going to be noticeable to most people. Minuscule, I would argue, for that. But here's why it's funny, because like the hobby is so kind of like so narrative driven that people want the rarest items. And if the item is not rare, there's multiple copies of it. People want the oldest item of it, right? Or the best condition item of it, right? They basically just want an item that they can say nobody else has, and they're willing. And some people are willing to pay premiums on that. So I think that's what's going to happen to these photos. And I'm a little bit concerned that these photos, there's more copies out there. That's the biggest thing, because I have actually sold type 1 photos, and then I've seen a copy of that photo reappear on an auction site. Yeah. So I know that, I mean, we know this just by the fact that it's made from a negative, that there could be multiple copies out there. So I'm just wondering if like these things start to make a lot of money for people, if we'll see more copies of these things out there, and then they'll be kind of like almost like flooded.
Yeah, but unless you had like a photo like I had of Prince from Purple Rain's tour of 1984, where they did label it as one of a kind.
I need an explanation on that. Why did they label it one of a kind?
I've seen one like of that of Larry Bird also on eBay as well. It said one of a kind.
Well, why? What does that mean? Like the negative with this was destroyed?
I have no clue.
So it's still like the type photo market.
I'm not arguing about it.
It's still very much undefined, I should say. You know what I mean? Right now, but it'll be interesting to see kind of how that develops over the next 6 months or so. I'm sure, just like everything else, if it becomes insanely popular, like it is right now, like it's trending to be very popular, there's going to be a huge rise in prices. Then there's going to be a steep correction to these prices, and then people are going to, complain about it at some point and then move on to the next thing. So we'll see. Anyways, but I think I've had my fun with the type photos. I'm still going to play around with them, but they're not going to be my main focus like they were this year. I think next year my focus is going to be on, I don't know what it is. Probably one of ones. Basically, I'm going to be buying any one of ones.
Speaking of one of ones, like what genre? Like just still non-sports?
Yeah, just the stuff that I like to collect. Wrestling,
Marvel, Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars one-of-ones, superfractors are pretty easy to come by. You see them all over the place. Wrestling one-of-ones also easy to come by. But Marvel one-of-ones, extremely hard to find.
Really?
Like, how often do you see a Marvel one-of-one pop up anywhere? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Once in a while, you might see one on an auction site, but they're like, you can't find them. You know what I mean? The same way that you can find the other ones.
No, you don't.
I actually don't even have any Marvel one-of-ones myself, and I've been looking for a while. So, maybe I'll try to pick up some of those. And
so, is that about the only serial numbered Marvel cards there are? Are they pretty much just PMGs, or are there others?
There's other
color variations.
Yeah, there's like, they have like gold one-of-ones that are not PMGs and things like that.
Oh, and like the pinks and all those like that.
I don't know if they're.
I don't know what. I don't know if
they
pink
do.
would be 1-of-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't know if they'd be 1-of-1.
Yeah, but they're hard to find.
Mhm.
I mean, you might find one of like some obscure character, but if you're trying to find like a Wolverine 1-of-1, good luck. You know what I mean? Because the collectors, once they have these in their
They
hands,
have them for good.
They don't let them go. Like the Marvel collectors are some of the worst hoarders in the world, from my experience. They do not let anything go for sure. So maybe I'll try to find myself a 1-of-1.
Have you even owned one at one point?
Yeah, I mean, I really want to get like a gold 1-of-1 of the PMG, but they're just like so hard to find. They never come up for sale. So anyway, so that's a thing, and then I'm still building my original comic art collection. I think that's still probably a year to 2 years out before people realize what that is and they start buying those things up. So
and when you have your art for sale, are you going to take some of that to the national next year? How will you do that?
You know, that's another thing that I learned this year is that I tried to dabble in these other things. I tried to dabble in memorabilia, in artwork, in photos. And the thing that I realized is like, they're all great. They're all unique, but none of them can beat the efficiency of a trading card, like the size and the portability of it. So, I mean, I would love to have a display at the National where I could have framed comic art or a binder to put on a table or comic book slabs and things like that. But it just, you just don't have the room for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You'd have to have like a huge entire booth to yourself to be able to display those things properly. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point? Because people will just overlook it. So that's something that I need to figure out. I need to figure out an efficient way to travel with these items and display them at card shows. But I don't know, man. I feel like the only way for us to really do that is if we expand our tables at these shows, which is doubling our cost, basically, Like I need 2 tables. Yeah. I really like when I was at Dallas and I had your table because you weren't there.
Hey, I figured you did.
It was comfortable, and I was able to
put on my table.
But just the same stuff that I had at like National, the type photos and cards and everything like that. But I'm at a point now where I need to have like 6 to 7 cases, 6 to 8 display cases, which is like 2 tables. You know what I mean? That's the only way that I can display these things efficiently.
Properly, yeah.
Yeah, properly. Otherwise, it's like I can only put like 1 or 2 of them out at one time, and it doesn't really catch people's attention. So that's something that I have to figure out. But that's a good question. I might have to try to, if I can crack that code, I think it will do well, having all that kind of stuff out there like I did at the National. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like when I had all those type 1s at Burbank show, and I could bring those there because I had, a car, and we lived close by. I had them all, nice, organized in a box, and only like the really hardcore collectors were looking through it. The next day or two, or by Saturday, I kind of gave up on that box, and I just took them all out, just laid them on stacks on the table. And let me tell you, that worked a lot better. I sold a lot more that way.
So
even though they just look sloppier. So
to kind of get this conversation back on track, because I know we go on a lot of rants, guys, about this. Sorry, it's the soju. Okay, it's the soju.
The soju talking.
If you're trying to be a dealer, because people ask me all the time, how can I make money doing this? How can I, have the hobby pay for itself? And the only way you can do that is if you become a dealer, because you have to have a high volume of transactions happening all the time for you to be able to kind of pay for your hobby, or let it pay for itself. So the whole point of this whole conversation, I know we went on a bunch of different tangents here, is that you have to make sure that your inventory works for what the market wants at that time. Okay. If nobody's buying your stuff, then you gotta be able to recognize that, and you got to be able to shift out of your inventory. And that's really hard because people, like, if you invested $10,000 in a bunch of cards and nobody's buying it, you can't just go buy another $10,000 of cards if you don't have the money per se, right?
No.
So you gotta shift your inventory by either trading out, taking losses, or doing something, right, to try to bring in the items that people want. So you just have to kind of recognize that and be willing to be creative and make those moves. And that's kind of like what I did at Dallas, where I moved a bunch of cards that I could not sell for cash. I moved it for trade. I picked up some different items, and then you have to kind of experiment with what works and what doesn't work. And then, sometimes like me, you just have to blow up your entire inventory and just rebuild, and try to find those items that catch people's attention.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best things that shows like you won't is that wheel spinning, that circle going where you're selling steadily and you're buying steadily and trading steadily. You've got that flow going.
Yeah.
But once one of those stalls, it kind of hurts.
And
it's not as fun, but with that steadiness is great. It's a great feeling.
What's great about going to shows is that you get to see what the market wants. You get to see what's moving, what people are excited about, what's not moving, and that's a great way to kind of like stay on top of everything. Because if you're just selling on eBay and you're just listing things and just waiting for people to buy them, you're not getting the feedback that you really need to know what people want. If you're trying to do this for a living and trying to buy inventory that you can turn around and flip. So you really definitely need to go to those shows and just walk around or interact with people to see what is popular and what's moving. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic. What do we have?
Oh, we got let's see here. Like let's what we got.
Did we cover everything?
We can do anything because we've done tips for setting up at card shows, have we? Yep.
Oh, so the thing, the tip that I wanted to share with you guys, my idea of based off of Veriswap. I'm going to get back to this, and then we'll go into our mail day.
Yeah,
segment.
you were about to say that.
I think I said this before, but I'm going to say it again, and I might have to start saying this repeatedly to kind of get people to understand this. But I'm still thinking about that whole card porn scenario. I don't want to get into it because we talked about it for like 2 weeks straight. But one thing that came out of that was another story about how he scammed a guy with selling a 86 flare unopened box that was like BBCE wrapped. He scammed some guy selling that like before he became. I did not know this.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Basically, he did a transaction with somebody at a McDonald's where they were doing like $150,000 trade where he gave a fake box of 1986 flare for like 2 cards worth $150,000, something like that, right? Anyways, the lesson that I take away from hearing that story is that as a hobby, we need to stop doing these handshake deals for big ticket items like that. You know what I mean? Too much of the hobby is like that, where people will do $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 sale or trade or transaction, and it'll just be basically a handshake deal, right? They'll either exchange cash, which is crazy and dangerous, or they'll do a wire transfer, and it will take a matter of minutes to do this. And then afterwards, if there's any problems, like a fake item, a stolen item, a chargeback, anything like that, if there's any problems after the fact, then you've got this huge uphill battle to try to either get your money back and file a claim for fraud, or you're just shit out of luck. If it's a fake item, like it was in this case, you have to try to chase the guy or whatever it is. And all this kind of stems from the hobby not being like formalized in how they do transactions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, me, I have a legal background. So I'm always thinking about like, how can we fix this problem? How can we mitigate people from getting scammed after the fact? Because when you're in the moment and you're doing the deal, you can check out something, you can check out a card or whatever it is. And, you can do your best due diligence at that moment, but it's the ones that happen afterwards. It's when you find out that the item is stolen or that it's a fake, or you get some BS chargeback or something like that, right? What do you do afterwards? There's no remedy for that except for trying to chase the guy. And even if you chase the guy and you catch him, you have to you have to sue him. You have to take him to court. And then what are you going to show? Like text messages? an unauthorized recording of the conversation that you had with him,
Yeah, or is it going to be he said, she said kind of thing?
Right. So like it's not a formalized process. So what I think needs to happen, okay, and I'm going to put this idea, I'm sure somebody's going to steal it. If nobody steals this, I'm going to run with the idea. But there needs to be purchase sale agreements in the hobby for big transactions, not little things. If you're at a card show, $100, $1,000, whatever, no, you don't need that. But for these big one-off transactions, when you're doing like $20,000 plus, when you're wiring money to somebody, when you're exchanging goods that are worth like 6 figures, you need to have a formal purchase agreement where it basically states these are the two parties involved. These parties represent these items to be their own and authentic. There's a period of time where they can do their due diligence and authenticate these items or make sure, and undo the deal if possible. Or there could be a clause in there for remedies or damages if one item turns out to be misrepresented or somehow. The same way that you do a deal when you buy a house or when you buy a business or when you buy any type of large ticket item, you have a purchase sale agreement. I think that the hobby needs that. And I know that it can be complicated because there's a lot of jurisdictional questions about it. There's a lot of other things on how to enforce these things. But at least if you have something with, like, if you have a piece of paper, something in writing where both parties have to sign off on it to close the deal, at least you have something that you can bring to the police or that you can bring to a lawyer or to court to show that this happened, and you can make your argument whatever way it is. You know what I mean? I just feel like we don't do that right now because a lot of people don't know how to read purchase sale agreements. A lot of people don't want to pay for a service like that. A lot of people maybe not even understand it. But
yeah, I don't think they understand it.
Given the amount of money that's involved in the hobby right now and how much fraud does take place, or how many disputes do arise from these big ticket transactions, I think it's time that we kind of need to implement that, at some point. So I don't know. And I'm pretty sure maybe somebody's out there working on it right now. If not, maybe I'll start a business where I'll create that service template for people, and I'll sell that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, is this when you're going to introduce to us the brand new Great Curator Esquire app?
Yes. This is what's that?
Where you can go ahead and fill the forms out there.
That company, LegalZoom.
Yeah, LegalZoom.
Hero was part of LegalZoom. I will be the Great Curator LegalZoom of the hobby or something like that. The Great Curator Legal. Who knows? I'm playing around with the idea. Okay. But I think it's necessary. Whether I do it,
I agree.
Whether I start that, or whether I work with somebody to start that, or somebody else takes that idea and runs with it, whatever, it needs to happen at some point, because we just can't keep meeting at McDonald's and doing these crazy deals. You know what I mean? We can't keep letting people scam us and then they get away with it and no charges are pressed or there's no legal remedy. You know what I mean? There needs to be something out there that gives people some teeth if they want.
Yeah, you need that paper trail.
Yes, exactly. So that's an idea that I have. I might talk about that more and more. It's something I'm trying to develop. So we'll see of that. Anyways, okay. So shall we get into mail days or anything else you want to talk about before we get to the comments?
No, let's go for mail day, dude.
Okay, you can go first while I get
you know what? What's Todd's Instagram? Todd that is always at Dallas show and we're always sharing. He doesn't have. Yeah, I didn't even know he didn't have Instagram. Okay. Well, he and I, we love music cards and pop culture, and he's always showing us cool stuff and vice versa. He's always buying from us. But he brought these to Burbank for me, which he knows we're both big Prince fans. And I didn't know Prince had a purple rain card that came from Hostess. And it says here on the back here, 50, and there's the Prince, the iconic, right there, photo. They're from Hostess from 1984.
Oh, tiny.
So they're really tiny things. Yeah, if you ever seen, they also made them like Tom Hanks from Big, which is actually Tom Hanks' rookie card kind of thing.
That's also one of my favorite movies, Big. For when
it is. Oh, I love that movie. I love that
because he worked at a toy company. It was so cool.
And then who is the he was a really good YouTuber. We met him in Toronto. He came and said hello to me a few times at the National this year. I think he's a Filipino guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know, and we've been communicating for like 2 years. Oh my god, I totally blanked out his name. People, if y'all remember who he is, if he's watching, because I know he watches our show every now and then.
2 years talking to this guy, don't even know.
I know, no, I just blanked out right now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, he knows I've been wanting this card forever, and I just heard that because you know he was in the Han Solo movie, you know, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, and that he's going to be reprising his role as Lando Calrissian in his own new movie, being the lead, because, you know, he should be. You know, if you watch ATL Atlanta, and if you love a big fan of Childish Gambino, which I do, here is pretty much his rookie card from the Solo Denny's cards. Denny, this is your card, buddy. Have you got this one? But this one is, I have not even seen one listed ever. This is the
Denny's
foil. This is the foil version of Lando Calrissian. And this is pretty much Childish Gambino's rookie card. He does not have one as Childish Gambino.
You had to go to Denny's to get that?
Yes, and this is the rare foil version. This is a super short print.
Wow.
And I've never seen one listed. I've never even seen like the other cards listed of foil versions.
Like
but he finally sold that to me for like nothing. So thank you so much. I love this card. I've got diamond hands on this baby. Also, who do you think is the biggest country star right now in country music, contemporary?
Does Taylor Swift count as country still?
No, not anymore.
I have no idea. Oh, the guy that was on The Voice?
No.
I don't know.
No, come on. But you're in the right gender.
Scarf Brooks?
Female.
I have no idea. Faith Hill. I don't
No,
know.
way bigger, dude. She's got gorgeous legs, blonde. How do you forget who this woman is?
Carrie Underwood.
Yes. So here is Carrie Underwood's rookie autograph card from 2005 Fleer American Idol, signed, sealed, delivered. This is the first year as well when she won, and that's a rookie card. I just got that back. And then another music card here. Who holds the title for the longest #1 hit ever on the Billboard charts?
Madonna.
No, actually more contemporary than that.
Taylor Swift.
No.
Give me a hit.
It was a hit a few years ago. Also, it's kind of country, but the singer is not country, but he was paired up with a country singer.
Is it a girl? Guy?
I know it's a guy.
I have no idea.
He's not a country singer, but the song was a country song, but it also held the #1 on the Billboard charts for the longest ever.
I don't know.
We all know the song. Gonna take my baby on the old town road. Gonna ride till I can no more. There you go. Vintage Lord Canada got it. Yeah, Little Nas X, baby. Here it is. Did you know he had an autographed rookie card from Topps Now, number to 99, autographed? I got this one back from 2019. That's when the song came out. That was his debut, and it came out. So there you go. Some nice music trivia questions, and my music cards. Woo!
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So my turn to show my mail days here. I already showed off.
No, it's never your turn.
I already showed off the Jackie Robinson Type 3 photo.
I like that. That's
pretty cool. I have a Type 1 photo of Babe Ruth holding his bastard.
Yeah. So is that the other little?
Yes. This is 1922. Can you believe that? It's over 100 years old.
Whoa. And what type is that, Dan?
Type 1.
It looks like it.
Yeah, Type 1, 1922 photos. So those are pretty cool. I added those to my inventory. For 7 months of waiting and calling Topps every month, calling Topps redemptions every month, I finally got my redemption of my Rosario Dawson.
Oh, that's the one I told you to get. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Masterworks auto, just in time. The show is peaking right now, so I have this. It is available. I'm going to cash out on this baby.
You are? Is that numbered?
No, it's not numbered.
But still awesome, though.
Yeah. On card auto, she wrote like XOXO in there, so that's pretty cool. So I got that. I've been collecting these Howard the Duck gold one. So I picked up another one.
Oh my gosh. You're going to go for the rainbow?
This is like the, I don't know, the wave version of it. So picking these up, I picked up another one. So that's pretty cool. And then
now I know what to get Dan for his birthday and Christmas presents now.
There you go. There you go. Try to find me. I'm looking for the gold 1-of-1s. I want to complete the
That's
gold.
not a gold 1-of-1?
It is. It
is. There's more gold 1-of-1s?
Oh, yeah. There's like 5 of them. There's like 5 golds.
Oh, wow. Okay. But like different types of gold.
Yeah. Different patterns on that. And then the big purchase that I made here that I've been waiting for, I kind of hinted to this last week, is I picked up the Rhea Ripley 1-of-1 logo mommy card. This is the non-auto version, but to me, it's the cooler version because she just looks so badass like this.
With the WWE patch logo.
Yes. So quick story about this card. I was bidding on this on eBay last year, and it went for like a little over $2,000 at that time. And at that time, there was no logo card that had ever gone that high. So I was like, I'm not going to spend more than $2,000 for this card. And I got it. Okay. And I instantly regretted it because, it's such a cool card. And I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the auto to come up. And when the auto came up, I bought that. So I got this one. Paid
another WWE patch logo, but this one's an autograph.
Paid like $3,500 for this, something like that, $3,500. So then when this popped up, I had to try to get this again so that I could pair it together. And I ended up paying $3,700 for this damn card. So I paid more than double, like almost double what I could have got it for last year because I was just being cheap. So the lesson learned is whenever there's a rare 1-of-1 item out there that you want, you just got to get it. You got to pay up. If you have the means to do it, pay up. Otherwise, you're going to end up paying more if it ever comes back, or you'll end up regretting it.
So, now, Immaculate is like the highest end premium for WWE cards, right? For Panini?
Yes. Until they make a flawless. So
exactly.
maybe next year we'll get a flawless or something like that.
But that's sweet. They're both called platinum versions, right?
Yes.
The 1-of-1s.
And just look how cool that is. I am so in love with Rhea Ripley right now.
Dude, she has the broadest shoulders I've seen of any human being.
She looks like a badass.
They're huge.
So you got girls out there like Tiffany Stratton, right? That are beautiful. That look like models, even though she's pretty muscular too. But then you got other girls
nothing like this.
Yeah, you got other girls out there that like they look like models essentially. Like Maxine Dupree is an example of that. Right?
There's so many, yes,
beautiful girls. But then there are very few girls that look like they could take on a man. You know what I mean? Charlotte Flair is one of them, and then Rhea Ripley is the other. That's it. Until Jade Cargill.
I know. What do you think about that, man?
We'll
Jade Cargill's coming to the WWE now.
I think she looks amazing, but I don't think that she's that great on the mic or anything like that. But we'll see.
No, they'll train her though, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
You think she's going to go straight to roster or NXT?
I hope they send her to NXT, but I think they'll put her in the roster.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, I'm so like in love with Rhea Ripley right now that I'm trying to buy up all her rare cards. So I had to have this, and I ended up just paying up for it. So that's
masochistic.
But now I have both paired together, the sister cards, and
that pretty much cost you around $7,000.
Yeah, more than that. So I'm heavily invested in Rhea right now, but I love it. I love it.
Rhea, if you hear that, if you want to buy them back from Dan and meet him.
Yeah. So those are all the mail days that we have to show here. We can get to our comments real quick here.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I finished my soju bottle, but I feel like...
Oh, my gosh. He doesn't even know now.
I feel like I'm not done yet.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me go get the rim. You start the comment section.
Okay, let's do it.
Give me like 1 minute. Let me get...
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Dan is on fire tonight. Let's see here. Carlos, he's always the first one to leave a comment in the chat room. Rise and shine, Curator Army, ready for another great show. Always started us off. What's up, Chili? Hello. Pittsburgh, Anthony, what's up from Pittsburgh? Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Anthony. Congrats on the Pittsburgh win, but I know you also like Cleveland, so I bet you were torn apart last night. poor Chubb injury probably set you back as well, did it? The Sports Card Professor 7, I've been IGing with him lately, DMing him. Good evening, gentlemen. Looking forward to catching up the discussion live and not just on the replay anymore, especially any discussion related to machine learning grading capabilities of AI.
Okay, so back in time here. Perfect time for me to come in here for this comment. So let's talk about the Sports Card Professor. He's I've kind of gotten to know him over the last
same here.
His name's Orest, but he's really smart guy. Always leaves very thoughtful, intelligent comments. He's a big fan of artificial intelligence and tag grading. Okay, so let me tell you this story about tag grading. Okay, so tag grading is basically they're positioning themselves to be super transparent grading company using AI, telling you that this is the grade. No matter how many times you submit it to them, the grade will always be the same. Consistency. That is what they're promoting, right? With this. So our friend, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wants us to tell this story, but I'm not going to say his name. Okay. Our friend had a card. He submitted that card to tag grading. It comes back a 9. All right. A 9. Then he says, okay, you know what? I want a premium value on this card. I'm going to crack it and I'm going to prep it, clean it, prep it, send it to PSA to get it in PSA slab.
Okay.
Tag graded a 9. It should come back a 9. Sends it to PSA. It grades an 8. An 8. Okay. So here's the question I have, right? All right. Who do you trust? Do you trust PSA and their human subjective grading? Or do you trust tag, which is supposedly using artificial intelligence grading, right? Like if you send it back, if you crack it and you send it back to tag, is it going to be a 9? In theory, it should be a 9 because that's what they promote, consistency. If you crack it, send it to BGS, who knows what number it'll come out at, what grade it will come out at, right? But who do you trust more? Do you trust tag or do you trust PSA? And which one would have the higher premium? Do you keep it in a PSA 8 and you get whatever value it is? And it has no sales. It's a 1 of 1. Okay. It's a 1 of 1. So it has no comps. Or do you send it to tag, have a 9 on it? Does they get a higher number? I don't have an answer to that. I'm just wondering. I think that this is a kind of a good, exercise in seeing like how we view these grading companies.
I'm glad you brought this up, definitely, because I'm going to have some videos I'm actually working on right now. A lot of cards that I already had graded already with various grading companies from BGS, SGC, even HGA, CSG, all those companies. I even had some Revolution from several years ago, but I cracked them all, sent them to PSA. They're all coming back this week. Some came back last week. I'm already making the videos for it. Let me tell you, when these come out, watch them. It's going to flip your lid. I have extremes from both ends, from the bad to the good, and there's no consistency whatsoever.
What would you value more? Like,
unfortunately, people are going to value PSA. I can't force that. I can't make people.
What are they valuing? The label or the grade?
The company, the PSA brand. It's like if you buy a Nizon shirt or polo shirt, Lacoste shirt, you're paying for that label that's on your shirt.
So what if we take that same card, we send it to SGC, and let's just say SGC grades it a 9, and then we crack it, we send it to BGS, and BGS grades it a 9.
Yeah.
So collectively, the consensus opinion is that card grades a 9, right? So is it worth more as a 9 in any of these other slabs than it would be in a PSA 8?
Unfortunately, it's not going to be. People don't see it that way. Then that really sucks. But that's just the way it is. And I wish we could change that. I wish we could. How do we do that? It makes me angry because wait till you see these videos.
Well, here's another thing, okay? This is what I'm trying to get at. It's like, what matters to us
It should be the card that matters overall than anything.
Because I think with the, like, if you take PSA slab and a BGS slab, for example, PSA slabs have a higher premium than BGS, right? And it's presumable that the reason they have that is that people value the PSA opinion more. That's what I think. People value the PSA opinion more and the PSA slab more. All right. So they're saying that if PSA grades it, it's worth more than if BGS grades it, because PSA has a better experts, I would say. Right.
Okay.
But what if you had all these 4 grading companies, BGS, PSA, SGC, and TAG? We throw them in there, and we get a consensus opinion of the grade. Let's just say the grade is 9 across the board.
Okay.
There is no debate about what the card is. It's a 9 across the board. Is it still the same value if it's in an SGC slab versus a PSA slab? If it's been graded by each company, and there's a record of it, right? Just like if we had an autographed item and we had
it all like different authentication companies,
right, versus one or the other. Does it lend more credibility if each company says that this is the grade, we have a consensus opinion, therefore the slab doesn't matter?
The only thing we're gonna have to show like proof of that, we're gonna have to show those photos, and hopefully that card has a serial number, so you know that's the exact card.
Yeah.
You know
I guess there could be a thing like if a card gets damaged in between or something like that, but I don't know. I think that's where grading. The point is,
if you sent it back to another company and it comes back a higher grade, then it starts to get weird.
I feel like they should be able to grade it while it's in a slab. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make here is, I feel like that's where grading needs to go. Grading needs to go to a consensus opinion where there's no discrepancy, where you crack a PSA 8, you send it to BGS and it gets a 9.5. You know, because people have been doing that. They've been making a lot of content about people cracking PSA cards that are like 8 or 9, sending it to BGS and getting a 9.5 or 10s or whatever it is, right?
Right.
There should be grading, should be a consensus opinion, like this is the card no matter what company you use. And I think that's what TAG is trying to do. They're trying to say, we have AI grading. This is like the card.
How much more do you need?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. If you send it back to us 10 times, it's going to be this grade every time. They're trying to set consistency to that, right? And I think that's really where grading needs to go, because it just seems so silly to me that like one card can be a BGS 8, and then you can crack it and then send it to PSA and get a 10, and then suddenly it's worth more money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand if the grade is higher, it's worth more money. But just if you change the label of the card of the slab, it should not be worth more money. You know what I mean? There should be like the grade should be consistent across the board. A 9 should be worth, the same price no matter the slab. If we're looking at the condition of the card versus the label. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm sure we'll talk about that more, but I've been having some very interesting conversations with the sports card professor about that. So thank you for that comment.
Yeah, I mean, you could have, a person who's grading, who's not in a good mood, they're exhausted, they're just pissed about something, they're not getting the money they want, and they're just like, oh, screw it, I'm going to give it
It shouldn't be like that, though.
I know, but that's what's going to happen. It's subjective.
Well, I feel like the grading companies, I feel like that's our excuse.
In mood, it's going to be an issue at times.
I feel like that's the narrative behind this. But if I'm not mistaken, these grading companies, they have like 2 or 3 checkpoints that verify the grade of that card. So in theory, you're getting like 2 or 3 sets of eyes on each of these grades before they get slabbed and finished and sent back to the customer. So you shouldn't be catching 3 dudes on a bad day. You know what I mean?
True.
So like that's what PSA says. They have like quality control checks essentially on these things. But it still comes out to be like wildly different opinions across the board. So I don't know. I feel like I just feel like that's where we need to go. We need to get to a consensus opinion where, you know, a 9 is worth this in the hobby, you know, no matter what type of slab it is. All right. And, you know, how we get there, I don't know. Maybe AI is the answer to that, but who knows? Who knows? Okay.
James, what's up, James? Yo, and hello, everybody. Carlos, hello, everyone. Denny Cards, let's go. What's up, Denny? Mark the Collector, happy Tuesday, party people. Taco Tuesday.
Speaking of Taco Tuesday, have you heard of this taco refractor? The taco fractor?
What's it in?
Tops baseball or something like that. Something like that.
And it's like a Taco Tuesday refractor?
So look it up. These things are going for a lot of money.
Really?
They're going for a lot of money on eBay. We don't know what they are yet. It's just a picture of a taco, and it's a refractor.
It's like the egg?
Yes, but there's a theory going around that this taco might be some type of redemption for Taco Bell tacos in some aspect, right?
Well, if that's the case, I'd just rather keep the card then.
Maybe a year supply of Taco Bell tacos or something like that.
Ooh, if a year supply, my girlfriend would tell you I would take the year supply then. I love Taco Bell.
You know? Oh,
she
man.
Throws up when I tell her I ate a Taco Bell.
It will be interesting to see what comes out of this taco fractor card that people
Taco fractor.
Yeah.
I hope it's golden. And that's
I love tacos, so I would love to have the card just as a novelty, but I think it's going for like $1,000. I'm not going to pay that much.
Well, if you get a year supply of tacos, I might buy it for $1,000.
Okay, younger like high school me would be all over that, but adult me, if I eat a year's worth of Taco Bell, you're not going to see me anymore. You're not going to see me anymore.
No, that's true. That'd be I would get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but anyways.
But they had the Enchilito back for like a month, which made me very excited. And now it's gone. Papa Jim, woohoo! The channel no one watches. So why am I here? I don't know. Seriously, hope you guys are having a great week. Papa Jim, always with you here, buddy.
I got to see Papa Jim in Dallas this past weekend or a couple weeks ago, so that was always great. He just posted on his Instagram his wife.
I saw that. That was an awesome
pop version of him, which looks awesome. It even has a card case with that. So that's very cool. Always love to see Papa Jim, and yes, he's right.
I want one signed too.
Nobody watches this show, so you know that's why we can act totally silly and drink soju and just go on long rants, and because nobody cares.
Papa Jim even won't watch it. Love him. He's the only reason I would go back to Dallas in November, just to hang out with Papa Jim. I wouldn't have a table, but me and Papa Jim would just work the floor together for once.
Papa Jim needs to get his own table and sign autographs.
I know.
I think he would make
sign those Funko Pops.
Yes.
I would buy one.
Definitely. And his wife could authenticate the signature. Yes. She's the boss authenticator.
Uh-oh. Denny Cards. Heck yeah. Soju, Korea represent. Denny Cards, slow news. National 2026 was announced, though. We know that. Everybody has it. Okay, yes.
So that announcement was made. I have to make a retraction to a statement that I made a few weeks ago.
Which was what?
Which was I thought that the National had already been approved for Atlantic City. 2026. So obviously I had misinformation about that. But this is great news because nobody wants to go to Atlantic City. Atlantic City, I'm sorry, it's a shithole for a convention. You go there to gamble if you live on the East Coast because you don't want to go all the way to Vegas. That's the only reason you go to Atlantic City. Other than that, it's not the place for a convention. Chicago is the best venue for that.
It's right there at the airport. All the hotels are right there. It's condensed.
Yes.
It's easy access to everything.
It's perfect. And you know what? So next year, we're going to have to kind of deal with Cleveland, which I don't even want to go to Cleveland.
Well, no, I'll be excited because there is the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, and they're my favorite, which I've never been to. This is not going to be my Mecca, so I'm going to have to get there a few days earlier or later. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, baby. I'm going to be visiting my first time.
Well, Merlin will enjoy that, but for me,
you got to go with me, Dan.
I'm not looking forward to Cleveland, but after that year, it's 2 years back to back in Chicago, and I'll be down for that for sure. And you know what? I already have a plan. Have a plan. I'm just gonna say it right now because I know nobody's gonna think about this long enough to follow through with this, but I have a plan where I'm going to make a ton of money at Chicago 2026 or 2025 Chicago. I'm going to bring a lot of handheld fans. Okay.
Huh?
I'm going
God.
Fans.
We're going to be in Cleveland too, man.
With misters. I'm going to buy these on like Alibaba for like $4 each. And I'm going to sell them for $40 at that Chicago show because I know it's going to be hot as hell and people will be buying them up. So that is
prepare yourself for Cleveland too. It's not going to be even cooler in Cleveland.
Okay, then I'll bring them to Cleveland, but that's I'm not even going to sell cards anymore. I'm just going to be selling handheld fans at these things, and I'm going to make a killing. and then people are going to make videos about me pumping fans. It's going to be great.
Climate change is killing us, man. Papa Jim, you two amigos coming to Dallas November. Hope to see you there. Papa, it'll be a last minute thing if I come, but Dan's already said no.
Yeah, so we will not have tables at Dallas this year. I've already kind of let them go, but who knows? Maybe you'll see Merlin. If not, January will be our next one.
Emmanuel, between two slabs Tuesday, you got it, buddy. Emmanuel again. What about the Anakin on Ahsoka?
Finally, 5. He says it correctly. Ahsoka. So I thought it was okay, it was cool. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything like that. It was cool to see the flashbacks of Ahsoka as a little kid. Oh, did you not watch it?
Not yet.
Okay. We won't spoil it then. I thought it was okay.
Okay. Yeah. Even though I'm doing that over my headphones, I can still hear. Marvelous Cars, nostalgic vibes and collectibles. A lot of names there. I need like 1,000 of those Slabmags, Dan.
Well, go ahead and use my curator discount and you get 10% off of that for sure. I probably gone through like 1,000 Slabmags at this point. But on your own. But I put them on my cards and I sell my cards right away. So
when you sell those cards, you give that person the Slabmag, correct?
Yeah, because
you don't take it back.
I just work that price into it, and it works, guys. I'm telling you, it works. So I probably gone through like 1,000 Slabmags too.
Jeez, but it's worth it, right?
Yes, for sure.
Mark the Collector, congrats, Dan, on another logo. Mommy, 1 of 1.
I might
she wasn't on Raw last night.
I was kind of talking about like how people have like cases at shows where they have all of one type of card, and that's the showstopper. They get people to kind of stop and check it out. I might become the WWE Immaculate Logo Man person. I might start collecting this the same way people collect NBA logo mans.
Yeah, what do you think about the Bloodline merging in with the Judgment Day storylines together? They're all coming together. The Bloodline and the Judgment Day storylines are all merging together.
I haven't kept up with it. The last thing I saw,
you got to watch it.
I won't Judgment Day versus the new formed Hurt Business. I haven't seen the Bloodline.
Yeah, but there's a whole story. There's a Bloodline story going on right now with the Judgment Day storyline.
I'm all for it.
Yes.
Can we talk about The Rock returning?
Everybody's returning. You know why? Because of the Writers Guild, but the Screen Actors Guild strike.
Oh my God! I hope we get more.
That's why Cena's in there, and I heard Batista's coming back.
Oh, I love Batista.
They don't have any work right now, so
they
have nothing Batista. Else to do.
I can't wait for that. He's one of my favorites. So, that's exciting, man. I just love it. Wrestling. This is a great time to be a wrestling fan for sure.
Yeah, they're bored. They need some acting to do. Danny Cards pulling that Bourdain was actually very impressive, Dan.
Danny knows.
Danny's had that Bourdain card. I didn't even know you have it.
I've had it for like 2 years now.
Oh, you're diamond hands on that one too?
Yeah.
Okay. Goldfinger Parallels come to Toronto Expo November. Dan, they're still trying to get us to go.
I don't think we'll ever go to.
There is a bullseye on Dan's back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make. If we go to Toronto, I'm gonna make a bullseye on.
I'm afraid shirt. Like some of those, they're like the people that gave me like death threats. I'm afraid they'll come at me. So I'll never go back.
People who claim you're a pedophile. That was really.
I'll never go back to that show again. Maybe Vancouver show if they have that because that's closer
on the west side.
I heard they have one in like Calgary or something like that, which
that's where you were earlier, right?
Yeah, where I was earlier this year, and I want to go back to that mountain area, Banff.
Ooh, I would love to see that. I've never
Maybe
been to
I would do
Canada.
that, but Toronto, no, thank you.
Oh, and I have been to Canada. But someone told me I went to Toronto last year, but that didn't really visit. Carlos, curator, Golden Nuggets. Emmanuel, Between Two Slabs, card shows unknown, a Netflix special. It'd be great.
Curator Golden Nuggets should be my next T-shirt. I should do limited T-shirts with my curator-isms on it. I think
exclusives, limited editions,
10 T-shirts only for sale. You know,
yes. Soft cotton too, please, so I can wear it. Golden Finger Parallels, the Great Exterminator. Well, if the Writers Guild and Screen Actors Guild continue on strike, they're going to need more reality shows, Dan. And this could be good content. We may have to come. You may have to come up through Hollywood and start pitching with me.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Just get me in there. I'll do it. I'll pitch them.
Okay, producers, are you hearing this? Dan will come in and produce or pitch our show at your production company. Denny Cards, Dan, the belle of the ball. You should see his pretty little bell dress too.
That's another T-shirt design. Dan, the belle of the ball.
And his princess outfit. Denny Cards, shifting inventory. Very good advice. Denny Cards again. Gosh, he's on fire tonight. Speaking of the Type 1 photos taking up space in the showcase, is there a reason more dealers don't go vertical with inventory? Denny actually went vertical in Burbank. I was selling some graded guards. I didn't really sell much, but I did sell the photos. I had some taped up there, and I had like 2 or 3 I sold that I put up there. So it did start to work. I might do it again.
Card shows have evolved very little since the 1970s. You know what I mean?
No.
We're still using the same type of display cases that we lay flat on the table. We still display all our cards the same way. I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe there's room for innovation. Maybe somebody needs to make a really creative display case and they just basically disrupt the entire showcase business in the hobby. But yeah, you're right. We should have vertical displays. We should have certain things. The same way that they have at trade shows where they have like toys and stuff, right? They're vertical displays. So I think that is a good point. I don't have an answer to that. But
I feel like with like 3D printing that we could make something like that.
Yeah, like somebody's watching this. Somebody's going to watch this. Come up with a design, and I'm sure it will revolutionize the business, and you'll make millions of dollars.
Golly, yeah, I would love to. Papa Jim, Type 1s that are raw, frame up nicely with a cut autograph of that person. Yeah, Jim, I know you've got a few.
He specializes in that. He makes those.
Exactly, I know. He's got Type 1s of us, Dan. Made by Papa Jim.
Yes.
Signed, sealed, delivered, baby. 25 Perez. Hi, everyone. Leo, what's up, Leo? I'm watching NXT right now. Tomorrow, Dynamite Grand Slam, MJF versus Samoa Joe. Should be a good one. Yep, I've been watching too, Leo. Leo, you got to sell me some PMG cards. Hope you got some already. Marvelous cards. There's some really nice, rare Marvel card stuff out there. Oh, I bet, man.
It's just so hard to find. Like, I've been looking for a gold 1-of-1 for so long. Of anyone I would be happy with if I could find a character that I like. The one I want the most, okay? I'm just going to put this out there. The one I want the most is this right here. Let me show you, okay? If there is one that exists, is of the 2018 Sentinel. X-Men Ultra Sentinel. There's got to be the gold 1-of-1 out there somewhere. Somebody has to have it. This is the one I want the most.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and I'll be.
You haven't seen one. You've got one on Save Search.
Yes, and I check everywhere. I just never found one yet.
On all the auction houses and everything. Jordan, speaking of 1-of-1 guys, who puts in his display case. Jordan's gotten to that point. I won a Storm Gold PMG 1-of-1 on auction. Look at him.
Yeah, we saw that. The guy brought that to us at the Burbank Card Show. That thing went for like what, 17 grand or something like that, or more. I forget what it was, but definitely not cheap for that, for sure.
Yeah, Jordan's been hot on his one-on-ones. Leo, your guys' thoughts of the National 26 will be in Chicago, back-to-back years in Chicago, 25 and 26.
Yeah.
It should be there pretty much, I feel like, every year. It's a good central location, easy to get to from the West and East Coast. Like I said, everything's condensed. All the hotels are right there. The conventions are right there. I mean, it's just humid at times. That's about it. But other than that, it's just a great location, and it's just easy to get from, hotel to hotel if you're going to trade nights.
Yeah.
Up Chili. Dan, get some MJF PMGs. He's trying to, man. I'm sure.
Looking for one. They're
once he gets that one of one.
Like a red PMG is
it's
like
high.
$1,500. It's expensive.
And what's the number of what's a red one numbered at?
I don't know. I assume 100.
And it's already MJF's a $1,500.
Yeah. Somebody did pull the gold one. It's out there somewhere.
Ooh.
I'd be a buyer on it if I could get it. If I could get it for under $5,000, I'd be a buyer on it.
I'm sure a few of these guys watching right now are.
They probably want like $20,000 for it, which I'm not a buyer.
Carlos, not everyone is honest and can be trusted. True. I mean, we probably even have friends that can't be trusted and honest. Carlos, the hobby is now very popular and it's not free from scammers. Nothing is, man. If there's money involved, there's a scammer involved. Carlos, purchase sell agreement. Yeah.
We need one.
Sell agreement by the great curator.
Yeah, we definitely need one. If I ever do a big deal, for something like that, where I'm paying money, then yeah, I want one. If I'm selling it, no, I don't want one. But if I'm paying down money, yeah, I want one for sure.
But couldn't I just like make up an agreement, write it, and then have both persons sign it? So there's that paper trail right there.
You could, but most people
that's legal, right?
Yeah, but it has to be
signed and dated.
It has to be like a legitimate contract for it to have any type of teeth.
So you have to have like a notary stamp and all that too?
I don't think you need a notary, but you need to have everything clearly defined, and most people would probably not know how to draft a contract in that way. You know what I mean? This is not the same thing of like writing down a quick, note on a napkin as an example. It's an extreme example. You know what I mean? It has to be like a legitimate contract with legitimate contract terms that you can use in court if you want to sue them for whatever reason,
Okay. So if I had it just on a napkin, I could get outlawed or not out legal and lose.
Probably.
Okay. Emmanuel, K-pop cards are super popular at Franklin's.
I'm telling you, K-pop, everything that I've been talking about for the last 6 months is starting to take off. K-pop cards, type photos, and I don't know, whatever else the hell I was talking about.
I'm starting to see more and more getting graded by PSA as well.
Yeah, it's happening.
Have you got any Mamamoo?
What?
Mamamoo.
What's that?
K-pop girls.
No.
They're like the next Blackpink. And they're a little more curvier than Blackpink, so I'm really digging them. Mamamoo.
Merlin likes the curvy.
Not curvy, but
Merlin likes a little bit of meat on his bone.
They're beautiful faces, but man, they are just sticks. Like I want a button boobs. I'll admit, man. I want some shape.
Need something to hold on to, right?
I don't want thick. I don't like. I want like a shape instead of just that. Good evening, Dan and Merlin. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you again, buddy. Marvelous card. It took a bunch of flapjacks to find that foil version. Oh yeah, what's the I don't even know what's the dish I would order a lot at Denny's.
I just ordered a Grand Slam breakfast. That's
there you go. But I like the pancakes and all that stuff. Mr. Snickers. Oh man, I want to see you guys open WWE Select or AEW Metal. Well, I've opened some boxes.
I will eventually, but I got so many loose cards, raw cards right now that I don't want to deal with anymore, to be honest.
How much is the metal going for? I don't even know. I mean, the Select was what, like 200?
Yeah, I've seen them at Target though. I mean, I've seen the blaster boxes.
The metals?
Yeah. And the Selects.
Carlos, Rosario Dawson on Cardano. Yeah, she's about 50, and let me tell you, she has not aged at all. She looks beautiful.
You know, one thing that I have a problem with
what?
This Ahsoka character live action is in the animation, her suit is is a tight suit. Like she's wearing like tight pants, arm guards and everything like that. But in the show, she's wearing like these baggy samurai pants. And to me, they just make her look really slow when she's moving around. You know what I mean?
I see that, but understand she is older.
I'm not a fan of that. I wish she had like more like a tight bodysuit or something, because it would be more in tune with the animated character version of that. So that to me is what kind of bothers me and throws me off about it. But
I mean, it's just too baggy, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mark the Collector. Dan, go load your case full of WWE logo 101s. It's coming. Folks.
I might, because I got 3 of them. Because I got the 2 Rias and I got the Max Dupree LA Knight one. So who knows?
Ooh, I like that.
I could see myself doing that. I want to be known as a guy, like, right? Because for a long time I was known as the PMG guy, and I guess I still am to an extent. But my case is not full of PMGs.
Then the Star Wars Super Fractor guy.
Yeah, but I want to be known as like, because there's guys out there there's a guy that's known as the Kaboom guy, for example, right?
And that's the Jordan.
And I'm sure there's a guy that's known as like the Star Jordan guy. Or the NBA logo guy. I want to be known. I want to be a guy. I want to be known as the guy of something. You know what I mean? Like,
so like the WWE logo patch guy.
Yeah, maybe
the platinum 101 guy.
Because I can't be known as the Type 1 guy because there's other people that do that. What else? Like Star Wars Super Fractor guy. I think the WWE logo man. I think that'd be cool if I was that guy. Or maybe I should just lean back into the PMGs and be the PMG guy again. That might be easier. Let's see.
Andrew, what are you guys' thoughts on anime cards? I don't just mean Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. Seems like One Piece is having their moment. Is that One Piece? That's an anime
that's a new
show? Or
because Netflix has a live action one of them.
Okay.
Which it looks really cool to me. I've been watching clips. I might start watching that show. I don't like anime, but I might start watching that. That looks pretty cool.
What's it on? What platform?
Netflix.
Okay.
So yeah, anime is very popular. Within that crowd. Oh my god, if you go to an anime convention and you see all the people that wait in line and spend money on that kind of stuff, yes, anime is a totally different thing. It's like Pokemon, but definitely, it's very popular for sure. And if I was into it, I would probably be buying that stuff up. But I'm just not into it.
What we got next? Random 777 card collection. Tag grading should be #1 over PSA. It will take a few years for it to happen. I hope you're right. They need really good competition that's equal in price and demand and everything.
I think what will happen.
I don't like that stereotype at all.
I don't think that PSA, BGS, or SGC will allow Tag to take any market share from them. Okay. And I think at some point they will just buy them. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, you think that will happen?
Yeah, and then
Tag will give in.
They won't give in. They'll just, like, the people who started that, they want to make money.
Right. So and that's how you make money.
If they get bought out by a big company, for sure, that's the ultimate goal, right?
Right.
But this is what I call this the card grading industrial complex. Okay, these companies are so invested in grading cards and having people crack the cards and doing all these things to make money that they're not going to let anything be standardized. You know what I mean? They're not going to let this tag grading company come in there and standardize grading where all these companies are the same. You know what I mean? They have to compete somehow. So one of these guys has to take out Tag at some point and then just keep this crazy cycle of grading going. They might incorporate a little bit of AI, but
I was going to ask you, will they incorporate it or will they destroy all the equipment?
They have to incorporate it somehow. You know what I mean? But it will never, the human element will never go away, because if you remove the human element, then truly there is no difference between a PSA, SGC, or BGS slab. There will be no difference. If you have one AI program that supposedly is so good that it grades the same across all platforms, then the label doesn't matter anymore. And if the label doesn't matter, then the only way these companies can compete with each other is on scale, and they're going to have pricing wars. You know what I mean? just they're kind of like doing it right now. Like SGC just rolled out $15 for across the board for all their grades, right? When PSA is still at $25. But if you have the same grade across the board and the narrative in the hobby is it doesn't matter what the label is, then it's going to be a huge pricing war. And I don't see any of these companies allowing that to happen. You know what I mean? There's too much money at stake.
And has tags popularity grown in this past year?
I don't know.
Do you have any? Because I don't have any tag. I'm interested, but do you have any?
No, I've never submitted to them. I see them at all the shows. They seem to be very well funded because they got big displays at these shows.
They do. That
probably cost a lot of money. And I don't think they're going anywhere. I think that they're well funded. I think they're going to be around for a long time until somebody buys them out. That's the goal, right? And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at some point because it would just be too dangerous for tag to flourish and take away market share from these companies.
Alex, BGS 10 is more than a PSA 10?
Yes. Yes, it is. And you know why? Because it's more scarce to get it. Like if you had, like, let's just, as an example, let's just say you had one card that had a population report of PSA 10s of like 100. The same population report for that same card in BGS 10s would probably be like 10 of them versus 100. So that's why it commands more premium because it's more scarce.
And especially a BGS 10 black label, even
but
more.
Here we go back to the conversation is like a 10 should be a 10. Why is a BGS 10 worth more than a PSA 10? They're both 10s, right? Because they're not standardized grading. So presumably the whole gimmick behind a BGS 10 is that it is harder to get a BGS 10 than it is a PSA 10. A BGS 9.5 is supposed to be the equivalent of a PSA 10, you know? And a BGS 10 is higher than a PSA 10, and a BGS Black Label 10 is even higher than the regular 10.
Well, it's a quad 10.
Yes, it's just a gimmick. It's a gimmick that these grading companies have made to differentiate themselves and separate themselves from each other, and just try to sell their services because there's a presumed extra layer of premium added to the card, you know? But if you have standardized grading across the board, all those things go away, and they can't have that. BGS will not allow an AI company to say a 10 is the same as every other 10. They won't allow it because then it gets rid of the black label, right? Same thing with PSA and SGC and everything like that.
$5.62 Slabs. The best way to drink soju is fill an 8-ounce cup with ice and pour. Ooh, a really cold one.
I like the flavored soju myself, but I also when I'm feeling like I'm about to go party, I like to mix my soju and beer.
Ooh, like a soju bomb.
It's called somek. That's what
somek.
That's what the Koreans call it. But yeah, basically like a what is it?
Bomb.
Like an Irish car bomb type thing, you know.
Oh my gosh, marvelous cards. Chimichanga Deadpool Refractor. Mark the Collector, the 1-of-1 taco superfractor. You can exchange it for a lifetime supply of tacos.
Is that confirmed or is that just a rumor? I don't know.
Mark's laughing on that one. The Sports Card Professor 7. Thanks to both of you for your comments about grading and Merlin for sharing his upcoming video of variability. Yeah, you don't want to miss this. It's crazy, dude. That's all I can say. Papa Jim, come on to Dallas, Merlin, if you want, and we can hang out on the Funko. I'll sign the top of the bald head. I saw you and Mr. Minty's bald heads already signed. That was traumatizing. The Sports Card Professor 7. I like Dan's idea of raising the question of same pricing for consensus grading of the same grade of a card regardless of the slab. But that's a lot of information to put. Like, you can't put that on one card when it's in the display case.
Okay. I have a wild idea. This may be the soju kicking in, okay? But I have a wild
Good day soju.
I have a wild idea of something that I can create in the hobby that will add what I call the super premium value to the card, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Because wasn't there already a company like that, these shows where you You were talking to one time when we were started doing the Dallas shows, and they were out in the front, and it was like give yourself a higher 10 than it was
the NBA grading, right?
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of that, so there's NBA, Mike Baker Authentication Services, or whatever it's called, right? He adds a colored diamond sticker to your slabs. So your slab could have a silver, gold, or black diamond. And that's supposed to add a premium, but nobody cares about that, right? Some people do. Some people, if you have it, you care about it. If you don't have it, you don't care about it.
That's
right?
for the hardcore collectors.
Okay. So when I was in elementary school, I'm taking you guys back to my childhood. When I was in elementary school and you did something good, the teacher would give you a gold star.
Yes, we got that too. Yes.
You'd have like a little passport book or something like that. And every time you did something good in class, you get a gold star. And if you get like 5 gold stars, you get like a treat, some type of prize, a toy or something, right? Okay. So I'm going to put this out in the ether, the card ether here. Okay. The hobby ether. All right. What if we had a grading 5-star review process? All right. Let's just say you get a PSA 10 card, gold star 1. Then you send it to tag. Okay. AI grading 10 tag. Then you send it to BGS 10 BGS. Then you send it to SGC 10. Boom, 4 stars. If you get all 4 stars, you get a bonus 5-star, and that gives you a super premium. More than a PSA 10, more than a SGC gold label 10, more than a BGS black label. Oh, and if you want, you can throw CGC in there because CGC also has their 10, right? If you get
like a general,
if you get 10s across the board, it will be the undisputed grade of the card, and you should get a premium. And I'm going to put this out there, premium. If you get 10s across the board, you should get a 10x value on that card from whatever 10 PSA is, right? I could see people doing that. I could see people playing that game and just cracking cards, trying to get these the 5-star 10 grade on that, and then charging a premium. You'll see it.
And where does this sticker go, or where does this like star go?
You put it on the slab. You put it on the slab. Somehow, I don't know. There'll be a way. Just like back in the elementary school, you get a little gold star. Just put it on there. Just like that Mike Baker sticker. They put that sticker right on the slab. Now you're gonna have like 5 stickers on there, and you get a super premium for it.
Sports Card Professor 7 again. I was going to try to apply AI grading as a quality assurance feedback to the card company on a card I have where the foil was incompletely placed. How can they argue with that machine?
They can't argue with it, but that's what I'm saying. It's like they won't allow machines to disrupt their business. You know what I mean? So it would be easier for one of these companies to buy Tag, for example, than to allow them to disrupt their business.
Well, it's disrupting my business, and that's why I'm not working right now.
That's true.
It's all about AI. That's what the actors and the writers are all worried about, taking over the business. Andrew, not sure if you guys already talked about it, but what are your thoughts on the WWE and UFC partnership emerging together with same ownership?
I mean,
what's that, Endeavor?
Yeah. They call it TKO now. I don't know. It's too soon to see if anything's going to change. We'll see. Ask this question, Andrew, in 6 months. If you ask it in 6 months, then we can kind of see if anything has changed. But right now, I would say it's business as usual.
Also, there's also rumors about Max taking over AEW's PLEs or the pay-per-views, and they're going to charge probably like $10 per PLE or pay-per-view on Max app. Adrian, what's up, Adrian? CV Sports Cards, what's up, dudes? John Holt, lava lamp, 100%. That's right, dude. We've got to have the lava lamp. I got to get a light for the next other one, the old one, my retro one from the 80s. What's Dan looking for?
Nothing.
Okay.
The
soju talking?
The soju's kicking in.
Oh my gosh. I see beads of sweat on top of your head, man. Your top of your hair is so wet, man.
Now's the time to ask controversial questions, guys. If you want the spicy answers, Now's the time to ask because the soju's kicking in. Real quick, let me just show you this here. I got a couple more piggy banks cards in my collection.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll show you
some
this.
new ones. Okay.
He gave
Let's
me
see them.
He gave me something special with it. I'll show you this.
Ooh, I love
I
specials.
picked up this one here. This is really cool. This just really caught my eye.
Purple. Whoa.
Yeah, look how vibrant this purple is. This is Kobe Bryant,
it is? Okay.
Going up to the heavens.
So the card is purple. Kobe's lettering is like gold or yellow.
Yeah, look at that.
And the rest of the label's purple too. Very nice.
Such a beautiful card. So I picked that up.
And this is what? Is that 8 of 24? Is that the serial number of it?
That's what it's called. 824.
824. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the numbers.
Yeah, and then I picked up this Charizilla card. Check that out. That's a pretty.
Oh, that's a play on like Charizard and Godzilla matched together.
Yeah, I love this card here. Very cool. But anyway,
pretty cool. I like that.
When I picked this up now, he gives these little pins. They're like coins.
Let's get that in focus, Dan. Oh, there we go.
It's called Piggy Bank Social Club. Yeah, and these are limited edition coins that he's been giving away when you get the cards from him. So this is pretty cool. So I am part of the Piggy Bank Social Club now, which is pretty cool. We need to make our own social club. We need to make a Between Two Slabs social club that you could only, you got to buy a t-shirt or something to get in the club or something like that.
That our viewers can be exclusive member of.
Right.
Definitely. Let's work on that, guys. The Sports Card Professor 7 again. Perhaps AI grading should be the grading of choice for pop culture cards, or for anything for that matter.
That would be fantastic. CGC was kind of positioning themselves to do that when they had the blue labels, but they pissed off so many people by changing the blue labels to the black labels that I think they kind of lost that. So maybe tag could be that,
True. Because what is the highest grade for tag? Is it
10.
Is just a 10, but that's still a gem mint, right? They don't have a pristine, do they?
Yeah.
They do or don't?
No, I think that's it.
They don't? Okay.
If you get a 10 in tag,
that's what I was wondering too.
That should be the ultimate 10 if they're truly AI,
Mm-hmm. The Sports Card Professor 7. I will start floating Dan's idea of grading in the slab with AI researchers. Get to it, buddy.
I'm telling you. The 5-star 10 grade. That's going to be a thing, guys. I'm telling you. I'm going to chase it.
Andrew, what's latest update on the SAG after strike? When do you think it ends? I don't think they're going back to the table, guys, until January, folks. They postponed the Emmys until January, hoping that that it ends in January. I hope it does. The most thing I'm worried about is SAG. It's the messiest of them all over the writer strike. But we'll see. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Because if it doesn't settle in January, both unions, it's going to get messy. And, the government may have to get involved. I don't know. It may have to. Because it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to hurt the city.
So are the studios losing money right now?
Yeah, everybody's losing money. The giver and the receiver. The actors, everybody. Yeah, studios going to lose a lot of money.
But they're still showing episodes of TV and movies.
Because whatever's been made prior. I mean, Dune got pushed to March or April. There's going to be a lot of movies getting pushed. You're still going to have some of the Oscar movies coming out this fall. But again, you're going to notice there's no talk shows because talk shows also have to have writers and actors on there who are part of the union. And thus, you cannot have actors or even writers, if you're on there, you can't go on a show. You can't promote the movies or TV shows. So no promotions whatsoever.
What about like news shows?
News is fine. That's non-union. Reality shows is fine because that's non-union. Even union reality shows, producers write. So that's a producers guild thing. That is not writers or actors.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to see a lot more reality crap all over TV, unfortunately. So you're going to lots more because the last big strike like this was over 20 something years ago, was 2000, 2001. and that's why there was a Survivor that year. That's why American Idol exists now, and all those other type of shows like American Idol exist because of the actor strike back in 2001, 2002.
Can I tell you, I'm not a big fan of reality shows because
Me either. Especially now that I worked on them. Ugh.
I had the glass ceiling break on me because I used to think reality shows were reality, right? But I have learned now that they're staged. And I learned that because I used to be a huge fan of this show called Duck Dynasty.
Yes.
And it was following a bunch of these like rednecks from Louisiana that had long beards, and they lived such interesting lives. They're like duck hunters and stuff like that. And I thought
hot wives.
Yeah, I thought it was so interesting. And then I started to notice that they had like these staged scenarios that were playing out, and it would look fake and things like that. And then when I finally found out that like reality TV is not really fully, it's mainly scripted, it like shattered the whole ceiling for me on reality shows to the point where I pretty much don't watch many of them anymore at all. So I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, if you were centered around someone and their life was just great and there was no drama, no one would watch it. People want to see drama, so you've got to ham it up. You got to sensationalize it. And you've got to perform on camera. You have to. The person who's going to have the most drama is going to get the most camera time.
Okay.
Period. That's the way it is.
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit because I do know for the TV producers that are watching this, I feel like people don't necessarily care about drama.
That's bullshit.
Drama's interesting. Bullshit. Drama's interesting, but I think what people want to see is a different type of lifestyle than they're used to living. So
true, but they like to see that. They like to see the gods have drama.
Duck Dynasty, for example, right? It was really interesting to me because I don't live in the woods. I'm not a duck hunter. I'm watching somebody else live their life. Duck Dynasty, an example of that. Another example of that, there was this show called the Bush People or something like that. This family that lived in the wild in Alaska, right? There's no drama on that show. They were just like living in Alaska, and that turned out to be some of that part turned out to be staged too. But it was interesting to see them like camping all the time. You know what I mean? If you watch clips on like TikTok or Instagram, or even YouTube, the ones that are really interesting are the ones that show people like living in China, and they're living in like rural areas of China, and they're just like doing things that we would never do here in America or things like that. So I think reality TV needs to kind of shift away from stage drama where it's like housewives are fighting all the time, like the Real Housewives, to more interesting lives that people just don't typically live. Like farmers, for example. They had a show about Amish people, Amish farmers. You know what I mean? Like just things that are not mainstream that people don't know about that would be interesting to me.
Yeah, no, but after a while that gets old and people again they just want to go back to the drama.
If it was
first season it may work because it's a novelty.
I would be into it. If it was real drama, I would be into it. But it's not. It's staged.
I know, because when people notice whoever gets the most drama gets the most camera on appearance of camera work.
I'm saying it's staged.
That's the way it's going to be. I know, but
Housewives. I used to watch that show a lot. The Real Housewives of like Orange County or something because I live in Orange County, and it was interesting for a little bit. But then like it just became like who could get more attention, who could scream, blah 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 blah, and I don't know. I didn't care about that.
And it's the same way. I wish it wasn't the case either. But just like people want the highest premium or they want to spend the most for a PSA 10 over the other grades. That's just the way it is. Well, it sucks, but
I'm not arguing.
Society's made it that way.
Arguing with you that draws people in, but that's stale to me. And this kind of goes back. I'm going to bring this back to a couple weeks ago when I said that hobby content was stale.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby content right now, it's all the same. It's like people putting their heads in front of a big card in the background and saying, okay, this is the story about this card, blah, blah, blah. Or people doing like a stage
Hey, don't pick on Denny.
Guys, welcome. I'm here at this card shop, and this is this, blah, 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 right? It's so like staged and fake that I feel like if something authentic comes across that we're not used to seeing, that will get people's attention. So I think the same thing with reality shows. Yes, drama attracts people, but that is like the standard script across all reality shows. Okay, put this person in a scenario where they fight with each other, basically, right? So something different that we need to see is basically just people that we don't know anything about. Like, show me a reality show of people in North Korea. Show me how people in North Korea live day to day. I'd be all into that. You know what I mean? Show me how people in Ukraine are living right now. You know, show me how farmers in rural China live. You know, okay? And
yeah, but I'm just saying, still story-wise, you need a protagonist and antagonist in the story.
I think right now what people want, you know, yes, people will watch drama and you need a protagonist and antagonist, but people also want TV that's going to make them feel good. You know, they want wholesome TV of a person that's working hard, living their life, family, people, things like that. So that's why I think those shows would be very interesting. And that's what I'm seeing on TikTok right now. The videos that get the most views are the people that just like live, you know, interesting lives where they're not flashy, they're not confrontational, but they're just like living interesting lives that we've never seen before. Okay.
Well, maybe that's what you and I should do, and we'll go around and do our travel around the world and sell our cards.
That could be a thing. You know.
I'm sure you and I will have lots of drama as we go around the world.
No, you're missing the point. It's not about drama.
I know, but I'm saying us go travel around everywhere. We'll have our bickering.
That's a good example.
When the ratings will go up.
That's a good example. What people want to see is hobby content in different cultures. Some of the best content that I made this year is the content when I was in Japan, when I was in Asia, Japan, Korea, Thailand. When I was making all that content, I got great feedback from people about the things that I was showing out there because it was different than America. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that could be a thing. You know, we could travel because there are card shows in Europe and Asia apparently now and places like that. I don't think we'd make a lot of money doing it, but you know, it would definitely be very interesting to see card shows in these different countries and the culture, because we know when we went to Canada, the culture is different. Okay. When you go, when you negotiate with people, it's different. And
that was definitely a new experience too for us.
So I bet you, like, if we went to this show in Macau, I bet you it would be crazy wild. I bet you we probably wouldn't make much money at all, but it would just be a crazy, unique experience.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
We'll have to get some documentary equipment and take with us. Non-sports card dude, between two slabs, challenge coins.
That's what we need to evolve in. We need to evolve. Yeah, that would be great. Challenge coins.
Good non-sports card dude.
We need to evolve into like a documentary crew. You know, like just that's what I want. I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to go set up a shows anymore. To be honest, like. I've had my fun doing it, but I feel like I want to walk the show and meet people.
I know that feeling.
And buy rare cards and things like that. So
sleep in when I want to.
At some point, we need to transition, but it's hard, guys. Let me tell you, it's hard to transition because you go to the show, and if you do it right and the show's good, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money at a show, but sometimes you don't make a lot of money, and sometimes it's really like heartbreaking when you can't sell anything, you know. So it's hard to kind of get away from that. But I would love to just kind of like, you know, go and meet people and show off different types of cards and meet, you know, kind of like Anthony Bourdain. You know, that should be our thing, man. We should like what's it called? Parts unknown. Cards unknown, basically.
Card shows unknown.
Card shows unknown. We need to pitch that, okay? We need
I know. They're gonna need some content on these
we need a big time
platforms.
sponsor. We need a big time sponsor to pay for our trips around the world, and we'll do it.
For us to find some, plus we can find things there too, items, pop culture items in other parts of the world.
Okay, here's my pitch. With us. Here's my pitch, okay? Auction house. It could be any auction house. I don't care. Heritage, Golden, REA, PWCC, whatever. Any auction house. Sponsor us to go travel across the world, finding rare cards that we can buy and then consign in your auction house. Okay, let's do it. That would be a great cool show.
Mark the Collector, the Between Two Slabs Club with T-shirt, exclusive content, and community groups. Sign me up. Dan, yeah, we got to start doing about this. I need some other platforms.
Okay, Merlin is in charge of the merch. Okay, Merlin is in charge of the merch. Right there.
I'm creative and marketing. Dan's the legal and the money guy.
I'm the talent of this.
He's the legal. He's the agent.
Yeah, I'm the salesperson and the on-air talent. Merlin is the behind-the-scenes production and logistics guy.
Dan, why don't you just become an agent at CAA and then you can help become a manager?
What is CAA?
Creative Artist Agency.
Or
William Morris, and then you can help produce a show.
I feel like
you'd be good.
I wouldn't want to be an agent because I feel like I wouldn't want to kiss people's ass.
I did that for 2 months when I moved.
You were an
out
agent?
Here. No, not an agent already. I wish. I know. I was an assistant, and it was I don't know why I even talking about swimming with sharks. It was a living hell.
I can do it.
I worked with one of the worst human beings in the world, man.
You know what I want to do?
I quit.
We're way over our time, guys. But fuck it. I ain't got nowhere to go. Here's an idea that I wanted to have. Okay, here's another idea that I'm going to put out in the hobby ether. If somebody wants to steal it, you can steal it, whatever. But I want to be like a hobby consultant for companies on how to grow their brand. Kind of like the you ever seen the show Mad Men? I want to be.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I want to be the Don Draper of the hobby. I want to tell these companies, okay, you do this and then you'll blow up big. Kind of like what we've been doing with Slabmags and Veriswap. Just giving them ideas. I don't necessarily want to make the content for them and be the face of them and what we're doing right now. But I just want to be the consultant to try to help these companies grow because I think I'd be really good at that. So.
You would, man.
We would be the what's that agency called? The Draper? No, the Sterling Cooper. That's the ad agency name in Mad Men. Mm-hmm. The Sterling Cooper of the hobby. That's going to be our new business.
Andrew, what is it meant by Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher called scabs? They were getting a lot of backlash, and so was Jennifer Hudson's talk show. Well, I mean, it was meant. It was meant to be, all for good. They were just trying to help with all the struggling workers and actors and everybody else. They thought they could go and help pay for everyone for their salaries, but that goes against all the union rules and stuff because that means they're helping and it gets rid of the protest pretty much. That's the reason there's a strike. But if you're paying the people and they go, then the people who go if you're in the union, then you're kind of becoming a scab and going against the whole thing of the whole protest of the union.
Does the union?
You don't want to pay the people.
What's that? Does the union pay supplement people's income during this?
A little. There's a lot of different things you can sign up for. And I do get the emails, even though, I'm an Editors Guild, even though the Editors Guild is not the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild AFTRA. But since they're on strike, no one else in the unions are working either. But again, it's all for one for all.
So wait, so all these people, they pay union dues?
Yes.
And
I even got an email saying if you're struggling, we'll waive the union dues for this coming quarter.
Oh, how nice of them!
I mean, it's like $250 a quarter for me.
Shouldn't they have a stockpile of money?
Yes.
For all the people.
I don't think it's going to be like studio stockpile money, but there's some, and you can apply for that. Yes. Okay. I am getting emails to apply if you are struggling.
I'm just curious. So you're saying the last strike was 20 plus years ago?
No, there's been different strikes for different ones, but the last big one was the Screen Actors Guild of 2001, I think it was.
Just assuming it was 20 years ago, they've had 20 years to stockpile a huge amount of money for some type of emergency like this, shouldn't they have that to supplement you guys so that you can outlast?
They do. I mean, I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much in their money in their account.
I see.
But I am getting emails saying if you're struggling, fill out these forms.
Okay. Are you guys allowed to make your own content on YouTube, like a show?
Yeah. I mean, I think like some of the talk show people are doing that. I think like Colbert's people and Fallon's people are all doing that. And let's say Fallon, Kimball, all those people I think are doing that. Like the writers and stuff are all doing their little YouTube.
I think it'd be really fun to see like actors basically make a YouTube show, and I bet they would make money on YouTube revenue to supplement their income.
Oh, I'm sure, but who knows? That could create chaos. I mean, that's why The Rock, Cena, and Batista are coming back to WWE.
You know what I
nothing else to do.
Dude, everybody should just become a wrestler. Everybody should just go with the wrestling. All these actors and things like that. But you know what I think would be really fun? Because I've seen some actors do this already. I think it'd be fun to see actors that we know and love play like board games or like role-playing games on YouTube, like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. I think that'd be really fun. There used to be this show, I think it still goes on, but it's hosted by like Will Wheaton. You know that guy from Star Trek? He would play,
and he was in Stand By Me.
I forget what it's called, but he would play board games with people on YouTube, and sometimes he would get like actors, well-known actors, to play these board games, and some of them were like role-playing games and stuff like that. But it was just always really fun to watch them do that because they're very charismatic, you know. So I don't know, maybe they should do something like that.
And I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there are union haters. They think unions are bad, but believe me, the entertainment industry really needs unions. We would totally get screwed if we were just all like, because we're all independent contractors, and we would get heavily screwed if we didn't have unions in the entertainment industry. So they're much needed, even though right now we are suffering, but it is for a cause, and that's the way it has to be. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, but fortunately. And we get more. Is this another one question? I don't even know. Did you put a new one up? Sorry. Yeah. Andrew, Curator Adventures or the Great Curator Experience, of course, with Merlin would be a good idea and make for awesome content. Yes, thank you, Andrew.
Okay, getting back to this idea, because you know
Dan's eyelids are getting heavy.
That's because I'm Asian. Okay. What are you trying to say?
Your rosy cheeks too. Don't you take the Tums for that? Oh my God, what are you rolling on?
Anyways, okay, we're having too much fun, guys. I feel like it's a Saturday night, but it's only Tuesday.
No, you should have shipped me some soju. I do have some soju. My acupuncturist.
You should have been drinking
soju together.
While you're on this strike, okay, and I know you don't have to go to work tomorrow. We should have between two slabs Tuesday soju nights, okay, and we should do a drinking game. Okay, this is an idea that I had when we start Mr. Minty's sponsorship next month. Every time we're gonna play a drink game. Every time we say Mr. Minty, you gotta drink. You gotta drink. Okay? Every time we say Mr. Minty. So that will be the thing that we'll start doing next month. But
that'll be like Drunk History.
It'll be great.
It'll be that show, Drunk History.
These shows are only supposed to be like an hour and a half, guys. But now we're like at 2 hours, 13 minutes. These shows will be like 3-hour shows or something. But anyways, okay, we're almost done, I promise. But here's an idea I just had for this show, this traveling card show. What's it called? What are we calling it?
Card Shows Unknown.
Card Shows Unknown, right? So, you know, my name is a play on Doctor Who. And every Doctor Who episode, it goes like the beginning credits are like his TARDIS like flying around in space. So that could be our thing. Like, we could travel around in a TARDIS around space, and then we just end up somewhere in some foreign country. And you got like Merlin, this guy from North Carolina, and Dan, this Asian guy, the odd couple, and we're supposed to here's the premise of the show. They throw us in the country We have no plan, no translator, nothing. We just got to find our way to this card show. We got to find some rare cards, bring it back, and do some deals. And it'll be a shit show. It'll be fun.
Shit show. Non-sports card dude. Soju Dan is fun. Yeah, it's like Fun Bobby. We got fun Fanny Danny.
Okay, last comment.
Fanny Danny. Andrew, the last one, Andrew. There have been celebrity eBay auctions, some of them going into the tens of thousands. What's he talking about?
I have no idea.
eBay auctions. Some of the what are they selling? The celebrities.
Memorabilia? I have no idea. But we appreciate the comment, Andrew. Okay, so that is it, guys. We finally made it, and I am still standing. I have not passed out yet. I have not thrown up yet. So,
oh God, hope not.
So it's a win. That's considered a win for me, guys.
Soju creeps up on you for sure.
Yes, it does. It does. But it's my favorite thing to drink when I go out. I love Korean food.
Me too.
Love drinking soju, Korean barbecue, and all that stuff.
I love all Korean stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully, if we go to Asia, maybe I know we'll be in Macau, but maybe we can go to another country. If I go to Asia.
Well, my girlfriend's from Hong Kong, so we have to go there.
Oh, she better like show us the good places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She better like not.
She
the
can't speak Mandarin, only Cantonese.
Not the tourist places. I'm talking about the places where the people from Hong Kong go. But anyways, so if you don't know, when you go to Asia, for Asian people, anyways, when you go to Asia, you don't just go to like one country for like a couple days and then you go back home. You make like a whole month out of it. You go there, you go to one country for a couple weeks, you go to for another country a couple weeks. So maybe if we do end up going to Macau, maybe we can find a way where we can go to like Korea, Japan, or something like that, or Thailand or something like that. So I think it'd be really fun.
Nice.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. Go ahead and give your final plugs.
All right, everyone. We're the drill. Merleworld cards. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me or followed me, do it now. I'm also on TikTok. I'm exploding on TikTok of all things right now.
Are you really?
I'm on fire, baby. Yeah, I'm getting thousands of views, dude. But every now and then I'm getting some good views. I think you even reposted. You saw I was getting some good views on our shorts that I'm pulling from this show. So check those out. And like I said, I finally cracked a bunch of slabs. It was a very a hot topic last year. I got lots of views last year for this content, these videos I made last year about cracking slabs and resending on the PSA and seeing what those results were coming back. This is going to be wild stuff. I'm going to have 2 videos about this. One will dual grades and then one will just single grades. But man, you've got to see it to believe it. You're going to be lost for words. Explain to me what the F just happened, because you have to watch to believe it, to see it. You have to see it to believe it. Is that that's the term? Okay. So those will be posted. I'm probably going to have one the next day or two. I'm working on it actually right now because this shit's crazy. So
I know what happened. Some yahoos just started a grading company and just made up shit. That's what happened.
I think they just looked at the card and gave it some random grade, believe it or not, because if you want consistency, this ain't the video. To see consistency with. If you want to see crazy inconsistency, watch these videos. Okay,
right.
That's how crazy it's going to be.
All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I ain't got nothing else to say. We'll see you guys next week, and
see you next Tuesday, guys.
Bye.
Bye.